In the mornings, when I arrived at KOPT Preschool in Bagamoyo, the children would run down the road to greet me. 15 children would literally fight to hold my hands or grab my skirt as they walked me to school. While waiting for the real teachers to arrive, I would play with them. I tried to teach them the hokey pokey once, but I couldn't keep their attention long enough. The children were supposed to wear uniforms, but most of them didn't have them. The ones that did most likely had them handed down from older siblings. The uniforms were usually ripped and haphazardly mended by parents. Some weren't mended at all. Sleeves were falling off, dresses were too long, buttons were missing. After the students were released from morning songs, they would run to the schoolhouse behind the church building. They'd rush into classrooms and scramble into desks. The younger children who didn't have a white teacher helping in their classroom tried to sneak into mine to marvel at the Mzungu. The students at KOPT are between the ages of 3 and 6. There are about 120 students divided into 3 classes, by age, not ability. Some of the students in my class were clearly gifted. I could tell them what to do in broken Swahili, and they would immediately do as I requested. The others I would tell 3 or 4 times, and they still couldn't get it. Whether they were learning impaired or simply needed a little more attention, it doesn't matter. They aren't going to get the help they need. With 40 or more students in a classroom, teachers don't have that extra time. Even teachers who love what they do and want their students to learn don't have the time to spend on individuals. In primary schools, the day is split in 2. Half the students come in the morning, half in the afternoon. Sometimes 90 students, each in the morning and afternoon. That's 180 students per teacher in one day. My teacher would have the students write in their notebooks. Then she would leave the room. For maybe 20 minutes, the students would do their work. As they started finishing, they would go crazy. They would start running around, doing flips, hitting each other. Some of the boys would rub their faces with white chalk and run around like zombies. They chased the girls, trying to scare them. At the beginning of my stay, I tried to keep them under control, but I never had much success. When I stopped trying so hard, I realized the kids could handle their problems on their own. I also stopped stepping in when kids started to cry. Once they realized crying got them attention, a lot more kids started to. Before me, these kids rarely cried. They would fall down, scrape their knee, fall backward out of a desk on their head, whatever. If they cried, they wouldn't for long. I think from a young age they learned that crying doesn't get them anything. The school day ended around noon. The students would be dismissed to get uji after they said their prayer as a class. Uji is a runny white porridge. It was made for KOPT by the women who lived next door to the church. The students would line up to get their cup filled. I don't think this uji had any nutritional value, but it was food in their stomach. After they finished eating, the children would scatter home up the road, and I would walk back to my house.